Are organizations machines? Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening so you don't miss any future episodes. Are you ready? Let's get started. This is part of an ongoing series of ideas that come from my new book, Flexible Leadership, Navigate Uncertainty and Lead with Confidence. And this is a thought-provoking question that I'm asking you. And again, I'm asking this question: are organizations machines? Now, we often think of organizations as machines because historically, once organizations got bigger than just a very few people, we had things like military and we had things like manufacturing, for which it made sense for us to have very sort of hierarchical thinking, and sort of the model or the metaphor of organizations was that of a machine. And while you might not have thought about it quite this way, here are some things that you see every day that come from that perspective. Things like organizational charts. Where do things fit into the machine, right? Specific job descriptions so that we can plug and play people into those jobs based on what is needed there. It's the specialization of work, right? That this job is this set of things and this job is this set of things. And so from those things, we also have formal communication challenges. We send communication up and down the organization in traditional, structured, mechanistic kinds of ways. Now, while all of those tools I've just described have a place, I will ask you this: have you ever found any one of those things, org charts, job descriptions, etc., have you ever found any one of those things to be a challenge or a stumbling block? Well, I bet you have, at least some of the time, right? So if our organizations aren't machines, what would they be then? What's our option? Our option is this: the organization as an organism or a living thing, right? So what does that look like? Well, it's based on at least these three ideas, that organizations can adapt. Now, we know that sometimes we find it hard to adapt, and yet if you look at any organization over time, it does adapt, it does shift. Whether you think about that internally or externally, organizations can adapt. Machines on their own cannot. We often think about culture, right? And I would say that culture is organizational DNA. It's the stuff that's baked in that you can't see. It's not quite like DNA because we can change it, but we know that it's sort of deeply in the fiber of the organization, right? Culture is not a mechanical type of thing. And teams, for example, have life cycles based on when people join, how long they're there, what are the things that we've done to help them grow, adapt, improve, and change. So those are just a few things where if we started to think about our organizations more like a living thing, it might change the way we think, might change the way we lead. So organizations can be seen as and have some resemblance to machines, of course, but they're also like living things, right? Both of those things can be true. And when we consider and respond to both of those truths, we will lead our organizations far more effectively. That's a single idea that you will find inside of this book, Flexible Leadership, which I've just outlined for you, one of the mindsets that helps us become more flexible. You can learn more about the book by going to kevineikenberry.com/flexible. I hope you'll do that. Let me close with today's remarkable reminder. While organizations can and often are seen as machines, we will understand them better when we consider them as living things too.